Hey, good evening. Hey, if you're watching this video, yo, I truly appreciate it. I ask that you allow me to take a moment to invest in you. And if I'm being honest, this video, it might not be for everybody, but if it is for you, I'm hoping that it's a blessing to you. Something I've learned about my city, and I'm a Milwaukee kid, Northside Milwaukee kid. Something I've learned about my city over the last 27 years is that we do not forget, but we also do not forgive. Or a better way of saying is we're not good at forgetting, but we're not good at forgiving either. So I'm working with this young man, and this young man I'm speaking about, he actually told me to post this, okay? So I'm talking to this young man, and him and another gentleman I know, they're feuding, they're beefing really hard. And they're both leaders of their respective team, we'll call it. And I step in the middle to try to figure this whole situation out. I love them both. I got a good relationship with them both. And I'm talking to this young man. I'm saying, young king, I think you need to let go, and I think you need to forgive. And I'm saying both of them because they're not the same thing. And as I'm talking to him, he says, Andre, I respect you. I love you as a big brother. But I don't have your heart. I don't have it in my heart to forgive. I don't have that in my heart. And I stop him. And I say, King, forgiveness is not an issue of the heart. Forgive you is an issue of space. And he kind of looks at me and he says, what are you talking about? So I'm going to tell you the same story I told him. Until I was about 18, I lived with my mother. And as long as I can remember, my mom, she worked about 6 days a week. So even Sundays. So Saturdays was most of the time was her day off. So that's the day she would do the shopping. And she would get the groceries, she would bring them to the house, call me and my sister, we'll bring them in the house and we'll unload them. And I think I was about 14 on this particular day. My mom, she called, we bring the groceries in, she wants to put them on the counter because she likes to do things like that. She's going to handle the things that are in the cabinets, and she tells me to get the fridge stuff. So that's cool. I open up the refrigerator, but it's full. Like the freezer and the refrigerator part. And I'm like, Mom, what do you want me to do? Because you got all this food, but we don't have space for it. You want me to take it to Grandma's house? And she kind of looks at me and she says, baby, just like move stuff around. I'm like, Ma, I can't. It's like no space. And she says, baby, look and see what belongs in there and what doesn't. And I'm listening to her, but I'm not understanding her because food belongs in the refrigerator. So I open it up and I start looking at stuff and I see we got mayonnaise in there. Nobody in my house really eats mayonnaise, so I could take that right out in the first place. We don't know how it got there. I open up the freezer and there's a box of popsicle sticks that have no popsicles in them, so I removed that and I just started moving different egg cartons or different leftovers that we haven't eaten. And by the time I throw all this stuff away, I see that we have space, so I take this new food, I put it in, and I kind of just think about it. And that's how forgiveness is. See, it was nothing wrong with our refrigerator. It was nothing wrong with that. It was the fact that we didn't have space. And it's nothing wrong with your heart if you don't have the ability to forgive. You got a spacing issue. And see, in order to get that new stuff in the fridge, we have to take some of that old stuff out. And in order to forgive somebody, then there's some things inside of you, then you have to let go. You have to let go. And it's crazy because in hindsight, some of the same things that stopped me from putting new food in the fridge didn't belong in the refrigerator in the first place. And if you examine yourself, you might see that the same things that's stopping you from forgiving this person, it's the same thing that probably has no business being inside of you. I'm talking about malice. I'm talking about anger. I'm talking about like extreme pain that you put yourself through. And because of that, you can't forgive the next person. And letting go of that stuff is hard, but it's therapeutic. See, to let go and to forgive are two totally different things. You can let go of something, right? But how often do you let go of something and you pick it right back up? See, but to forgive is to let go and consciously choose and make an effort to not pick it up. That's to forgive. To not give the same effort back that somebody hurt you with. And I know that in my city, we're running around here and we are hurt. A lot of us, we live in extreme conditions and we have post-traumatic stress and you're hurt. And it's because of that pain that you can't let go. But until you let go of that pain, you won't be able to forgive. And forgiveness, it's not even about the person who wounded you. It's not even about the person who hurt you. It's about you. That's the one thing you can be selfish with. You can be selfish with your forgiveness. You can give that because it's about you being healthy. And if you have something on you that's dirty, you wipe it off. But what about the things that we hold inside of us? See, forgiveness is not an issue of your heart. Don't think that. It's an issue of spacing. And until you clear out some of those things, you can't let go of it. And if you can't let go of it, you can't forgive somebody. I think we all have people that we need forgiveness from. And I think we also know people who we need to forgive. And I ask that you take a moment this week to just examine yourself, examine your refrigerator, examine yourself and say, this doesn't belong here. Oh, and maybe that's the reason why I can't forgive them for this. I just ask that you just examine yourself and be selfish about that. I thank you for listening. I ask that you just have a beautiful week. You encourage somebody. And if this is for you, I ask that you share it. Because if you're from Milwaukee, then you understand when I say that people that we're growing up with are literally killing people we grew up with because they can't forgive. So listen, if you're watching this, know somebody loves you, and be safe in all that you do.